Well, good news, bad news. Good news is that there's only two bits of bad news. Bad news number one is that you're going to see tolling for new state routes 509 and 167. That's not good. Drivers from Tacoma and Olympia will no longer have to drive to Southcenter to get to Seattle International Airport. Thank you for not calling it Fly C. Can't stand that. The new state route 509 Expressway, according to Como, will extend from South 188th Street in Burien to I-5 and Sea-Tac. The new SR 167 Expressway will extend from North Meridian Avenue in Puyallup to I-5 in Fife, and from I-5 to State Route 509 near the Port of Tacoma. Now, the 509 Expressway is going to open in October. There's going to still be some construction work that's done into 2026, but overall, you're going to actually be able to start driving it. The toll rates will range from $120 to $240, depending on what time of day drivers take the route and at what point the state can use your pain to take more money from you. They're going to look at you and say, hey, there's a whole lot of traffic. You would like to get to the airport on time, wouldn't you? You would like to get to that doctor's appointment on time, wouldn't you? You do want to get to work on time or to see your kids after a long day's work, wouldn't you? Oh, well, fine, I'll let you. Just give us $2.40. And don't worry for those of you who are saying, well, actually, it's not as bad as I thought. A few years from now, it'll be $12.40.
It's like the mafia meets transit. They're just shaking you down.
100%. That's all this is. That's all this is. I mean, they're currently doing it with the express toll lanes on 405, right? They create a scenario in which, so you got 5 lanes that are filled with traffic. So here's how they manage the traffic. Cutting off 2 of the lanes, making them really expensive to drive on, and then pushing all the cars that can't afford it onto the remaining 3, which last time I checked is a recipe for even more traffic, but also more dollars that the state can get a hold of. Oh, and good news, they're charging you more for gas. It's going to go up even higher in just a couple weeks from now, July 1st. And then, of course, what's to come next? They're going to charge you per mile that you drive. That is inevitable. That's inevitable. Now, they say for the first time in state tolling history, the max toll rate will be directional, meaning if drivers are going just one way, north in the morning or south in the afternoon, the maximum they pay is $2.40. So they're trying to use that as an opportunity to say, we're not that bad. We're just going to charge you the one time in the day. And of course, because it's using the good to go system, that means you better be really vigilant in checking your good to go bill every single month. Because how many times have we done stories where people are like, I didn't drive this. What are you talking about? How did this happen? And you're auto taking it out of my account? What's going on? How many times have we done stories like that? It feels like we do those pretty often. Ugh. Oh, but good news. You'll get to work or to the airport on time, so long as you're willing to pay a whole lot of money. And again, the second that they realize there's still going to be traffic, they're just going to raise the rates even more to disincentivize someone from driving it completely. And then in the same breath, they'll complain about regressive taxes.
I always wonder what we get in return for all these taxes.
Yeah, nothing.
Our roads are terrible. The ferry system's inefficient.
Exactly. I mean, and that's part of the issue. I'm never going to enjoy paying high taxes or fees that all add up. Like I'm never going to be in a position to say, yay, more taxes. But I might be in a position where I'll complain less if I truly get something worthwhile out of it.
Yeah, at least there'd be a small consolation.
Just something, right? I mean, even driving on 520, there's still the same amount of traffic, and you're saving maybe 5 minutes by not going I-90, right? Depending on where it is you're going, maybe you save 5 minutes by taking 520. Why would I pay for that? $2.75 or whatever it is. That's absurd. I don't get anything out of it. The 5 minutes is just 5 minutes. I'll listen to a podcast for 5 extra minutes. It's not that big of a deal. So what is it that we get? Well, you're prices for ferries going up. Okay, do I get extra ferries? Do they show up on time? Do I have to wait in line for 3 hours still in order to get onto one? If the answer is yes to that, then what am I getting? I know what you're getting, more of my money. Well, inflation. Well, inflation also impacts me and how much money I have to spend on things like taking a ferry or driving across a bridge. This is unbelievable. And it's never going to end. Oh, it's never going to end.
It's their favorite thing.
It really is. And they don't even pretend to give us anything in return, right? They don't even pretend. They'll sometimes gaslight us on how long we're all waiting for whatever project it is that the perfect example is Sound Transit, right? They'll say, oh, we're on time and on budget. No, you're not. Well, no, we changed our timeline and budget. Yeah, after you missed it. So how are you on time and on budget? Well, what's our current timeline? 2027. Well, we're going to be done by then. But you originally said 2016. Yeah, but we changed it. So now we're on time. It's just like, what are we doing here? It's just maddening. The more I talk about it, the more I think about transportation issues.
Should we just move on?
Just push the button.